Welcome, recruit. I heard that you're interested in playing Star Citizen. Well, you're in luck there, man. I'm gonna show you how to have the very best start in Star Citizen with this brand new player's guide. I'm gonna show you how to start with nothing, and you're gonna end with the Caterpillar and millions of space bucks. How does that sound? I'm gonna show you the very best way, the fastest way to make money right away when you're a noob, so you can start making the real bucks. I started playing Star Citizen 3 weeks ago, recruit, and since then I have learned all the ins and outs and made a whole bunch of money. Of course I did, because that's what Hawks Gaming does. Made over 20 million in the first week, bought a whole bunch of ships, lost my ships in 310, had to farm a bunch of money. Now I got 3 Caterpillars, whole bunch of other ships, and I want to pass that knowledge on to you, recruit. So let's get on with it. Never fear, future space explorer. I'm going to show you absolutely every single thing I wish I knew when I first started playing Star Citizen 3 weeks ago. I literally have millions of views for Elite Dangerous and No Man's Sky Best Start Guide, so buckle up, this is Star Citizen. In Star Citizen, you can actually customize your toon, and that's the closest I can get it to look like me, so there you go, that's what we're going with. When you start out with a fresh save in Star Citizen, you have the option to start out in either New Babbage, which is Microtech, you can spawn in Lorville, which is in Hurston, or you can spawn in Area 18, which is ArcCorp. For this video, we are going to be spawning in Area 18, and that is where I recommend you start out with your fresh new save. Let's get out of this room. It is now time to hold down the F key and then use your left mouse click button to interact with the door, and voila, it opens right up. Let's run down this hallway. We need to interact with the elevator here by holding down the F key and left clicking with the mouse once again. Yep, you're going to be doing that a lot in the game, and much like real life, elevators don't come right away. Interact with the panel and tell it to go to the ground floor. You're going to stand around just for a little bit. It'll get you there, and once you get out, we are going to go to Cubby Blast and get completely hooked up and ready for stage 1. But before we can even start stage 1, I am going to have to teach you how to fly, take off, not get yourself killed. There's a lot of stuff I'm going to teach you right here in the very beginning of the video. In the very beginning of Star Citizen, you're going to notice you're really slow, so mouse wheel up to increase your speed and mouse wheel down to decrease it. You can buy water right here, and you can come over here and buy food if you ever need it. Don't worry, I'll show you how to eat it and drink it later. Your first step towards making millions is to purchase the Grey Cat Pyro Multi-Tool. It's only going to cost you 413 AUC, but that is money well spent. After you snag up your multi-tool, make sure you grab this Orbit mining attachment. It costs 311 AUEC, and you can't do any mining without it. Now you're going to come over here and check out this mannequin. There is a Max Flex rucksack. It costs 3,100 AUEC. This is pretty expensive, but you will most definitely need this in order to collect your minerals. Now that you have your rucksack, you're going to come over here and interact with the terminal. This is why it's so important that you use that code I shared with you earlier. You're going to need that extra 5,000 space bucks to buy all this awesome extra armor you're going to need to keep you safe. For now, I recommend that you get yourself a nice pair of light legs, arms, and a torso. Just make sure whatever you do, you have enough money left over to buy 2 med pins, and you're also going to need to be able to buy 2 of these oxy pins. If you forget to buy oxy pins, you will most definitely be shooting yourself in the foot, so do not forget to buy them. Now let's get all this stuff you purchased equipped. To do that, you need to hit F1 to activate your Moby Glass, and then you're going to come down to the equipment manager and click on that. Looks like a little dude, and your guy's going to actually pop up. We're going to use my chest for an example. You need to click on the torso, scroll down until you find your rucksack, click on it, and make sure you do save changes and equip. If you don't, it will not equip your item. This is basically the process of equipping everything in Star Citizen, from your little dude to your ships. It's all pretty much exactly the same. This is where you're going to equip your oxy pins, your med pins, as well as your multi-tool and its attachment. Once you have all the items on that you want, make sure to click that save and equip button, and voila, everything's equipped. It's now time for me to show you the pathway from your spawn point all the way to the plaza. This is where we're going to be doing a lot of business in the future at the TDD building in the background. Now you're going to come over here and look for City Flight Transit. We're going to run down this hallway until we get to the point where we find the train. Right on, there's the train. There's one thing I love about this game, and you're going to fall in love with it too. The game is just absolutely beautiful. Now, I talked my wife into buying this game, and she didn't buy it to fly around ships or make a whole bunch of space bucks. She literally bought this game just to walk around and get lost in. It is that amazing. There are so many buildings, cities, planets, moons. There are so many places to explore in this game. You are just going to be sucked in, probably pretty much like I was, for hours upon hours. Seriously, don't get me started on the shenanigans you can find yourself getting into in this game. This game is awesome when you play it by yourself. When you play with friends, it is seriously like next level. It is French kiss. Mwah! Perfect. The other cool thing about this train ride is somehow they incorporated the Eye of Saruman on top of that building right there. Coincidence? I think not. In a nutshell, Star Citizen is basically based around the idea of you are a honey badger and you do what you want basically. If you want to be a good guy and not attack other players, well, you can do that. If you decide you want to be a bad guy and be a pirate, well, you can do that too. The thing is, if you do bad guy stuff, there are bad guy consequences. Jail is actually a gameplay element in Star Citizen. Here we are at the space terminal. This is where you can summon your ship. I'm going to show you two of them. Once you have selected your ship, it will tell you which pad you need to go to. In this case, it's Hangar 3. The elevators are back here. Just plug in Hangar 3 and away we go. There are only really two ships that I can recommend when you purchase a starter pack for Star Citizen. The very first one is the Avenger Titan here. It's going to cost you $65. A Gatling gun mounted on the front of a futuristic space shuttle. Shut up and take my money. You can quickly get into your Avenger just by interacting with that triangle there, or you run to the back here and open up the back hatch. Just be especially careful when you open this thing up. Don't let anybody get inside, alright? Be paranoid. Paranoia keeps you safe. Clicking on that top ceiling piece is the best way to close the door on the Avenger. Now look how much space you got in this thing. And a bed that does absolutely nothing for you. You can enter the captain's chair right there. Alright, now it's time to show you the ship that I bought as a starter ship. This is the Cutlass Black. It set me back 115 bones. I could afford it, so it's no big deal. But if you just want to find out if Star Citizen is an awesome game, definitely go with the Avenger Titan. It's a really good ship. Now, the Avenger Titan can only hold 8 SCU of cargo. This Cutlass Black can actually hold 46 SCU of cargo. That's actually 4,600 items. She can fight, she can hold cargo, she can do box missions, she can pretty much do absolutely everything. Now think the Avenger Titan is basically a mini version of the Cutlass Black. Now there's a turret right there you can stick a friend in. There is a co-pilot seat just behind where I'm sitting now. You can stuff somebody in as well. Now let's get this thing powered up. And to do that, you're going to hit the R key. Pressing R will turn your ship on, and then after that you are going to press F11, which is a shortcut to your Friends tab. Click the Friends and then click on the landing services to request takeoff. If you need to repair, restock, or refuel, just click the wrench icon down at the bottom on your Mobiglass. Pressing F4 gets you into third person, and spacebar is up. Your ship will move in the direction that you move your mouse. Notice how the Cuddy has vertical takeoff thrusters. You can push K to switch in between the modes. We do not want to get busted for loitering. You want to get out of the way of these hangars as soon as possible. And if you notice that blue flight path in front of us, we need to fly into that box and out of it. If we don't, we're going to be blown up by the space cops. Pressing W will engage forward thrust, and if you wheel up and wheel down your speed limiter, that determines how fast you can go within the game. You will be wheeling up and wheeling down quite a bit when you're doing takeoff and landings. Pressing A will engage left thrust, and pressing D will engage right thrust. Pressing Q will roll your ship left, and pressing E will roll it right. Pressing S is your reverse thrust, and if you want to go really fast, well, you just hold down your left shift key. And if you go too fast, pressing X is your space brake. As it stands right now, there are only two places you need to worry about flying in and out of these flight paths. That's at Hurston, at Lauraville, and where we're at right now at ArcCorp Area 18. I forgot to raise my landing gear. If you want to do that, you can just press in to raise or lower your landing gears. It is now time to press C to engage the cruise control. Now I'm going to get a 90 degrees escape angle and we're going to get the heck on out of here. Notice in the upper right hand corner there is a satellite dish icon. This means that all crimes are reported. The no bullet symbol next to the satellite dish means that nobody can pull out weapons. It is considered a safe or armistice zone. Pressing F2 will bring up your navigation window. I like to do this as I'm gaining altitude. Now I'm going to show you how to plot a basic course. We're in R Corp and now we're going to go to Hurston. Select your destination and then set your route. Once you do that, all you have to do is close your mobi-glass by hitting F1 or F2. Now you're going to align with your target, which should be that little circle icon, and you're going to need to spool your drive. In order to do that, you are going to press B to spool your quantum drive, and when it says it's ready, you're going to need to hold down the B button to engage your quantum drive. Congratulations, Cadet, you just plotted your first course in Star Citizen. We are one step closer to stage 1 where you can become a freaking space millionaire. Here we are at Hurston. It is now time to start making money, Cadet, so let's get ready. Once you arrive in Hurston, you are now going to want to plot a course to Everest Harbor, land there, and make a save point. Never fear, I'm going to show you how to land later. I know I kind of skipped that, but for now, you are going to pull out the MISC Freelancer. It's pretty important that you get good at flying your Freelancer. It can hold 66 SU of cargo, so that's 6,600 items that you can actually buy and then sell for a profit later. Considering the trading mechanic in Star Citizen, you have to front all the money to actually buy the items to store in your ship and then to fly to the destination and sell. So yeah, you're going to want to get really good at flying before you start risking your own money to make money. So what we're going to do right now is actually warm up for stage 1. This is actually going to teach you how to fly, take off, land, plot courses, everything like that, alright? It's not about making money, it's basically about teaching you the flight mechanics. What you're going to do now is open up your mobi-glass and then go over to the contracts manager, and you're going to be looking for anything that is delivery for now. And what you're going to want to do is pick one that is pick up all the packages in one location and then drop them off in 3 other locations, whichever mission you want to do. Completing this box mission is only going to net us 4,000 in-game credits. That is not very much. The main point of this is just to teach you how to plot courses, take off and land, and get good at it. Here we are at our first location. I am just about to pick up all those 3 packages as long as I don't crash into the deck and blow up. Now, like promised, it is time to teach you how to land. The secret to landing in Star Citizen is just to use your speed limiter, wheel it down to the point where all of your movements are nice and slow, and then you can't overcorrect and make huge mistakes that slam you into the ground. The other thing I like is this is a brand new stock Freelancer, and it looks like one of the engines are completely busted on it, but hey, I'm gonna roll with it because it still flies. Once you touch down, you always want to press I. That turns off your engines but leaves your shields and your ship still powered up. If you leave your engines on, well, what can happen is you can get hit by a gust of wind or something and your ship can actually just lift off the ground while you're inside doing the things, and then you're going to come back and you're not going to be able to get in your ship. Once we get here, the main point of this is we are space UPS delivery drivers, so we need to go in here, pick up all 3 of the packages, and then take them to where they want us to take them to collect our measly 4,000 credits. Now that you have successfully picked up your first box, let me show you how to place it in your cargo hold properly, and the easiest way to do that is to hold the right and left mouse click button together. You're going to get a little blue icon of a box. Just right click where that is and it'll place it on the ground. Once you get all your boxes on the ship, it is now time to plot courses to drop them all off at their locations, and they will be highlighted like that for you to make it easy. And it is a beautiful day in Hurston today, oh my goodness, although it is a little windy out. Once you have arrived at the destination where you're going to drop off your packages, you're not going to put them on the shelf. You're going to have to come to this red and orange machine here, select the drop off option, and then just place it inside. Once you drop off the last 2 packages to their respective locations, you are finally going to collect your paycheck, that measly 4,000 credits that you signed up for to do this mission. Now definitely do not expect to become filthy space rich by doing box missions. The only reason that I'm recommending you do at least one of these is to teach you how to fly, plot courses, land, all that kind of stuff, which is going to become very important once you start risking your own money in the future. Alright Cadet, congratulations, you have made it to stage 1. It is now time to make space bucks. In order to start making a bunch of money fast, you need to go under the investigation tab, look for missing persons. This is going to direct you towards a cave. In most cases, you can't plot a course directly to the cave, so you have to pick the closest one. Generally, this will put you at over 100 kilometers away from the actual cave location, so your best bet is to gain a bunch of altitude and a bunch of speed and just kind of cruise the distance almost up in the upper atmosphere so you can go really fast. This will help you get to the cave location much faster. Once you have arrived on location, just park right next to the cave location. Don't worry, this is a one-way trip. We are not coming back to our ship. Before you come out here to this cave location, make sure that you land up at Everest Harbor to create a save point. We are going to be down here mining literally until we run out of oxygen. And then we're going to quit out of the server, join back in, and we're still going to keep all of our loot on us. Things you need to keep in mind: this is not an armistice zone. Someone can come down here and kill you. I rarely ever find anybody though. And that right there is exactly why we're here. There is a chunk of hadanite ore right there, and in order to scan it, you are going to right click your mouse. Once it's scanned, you're going to be able to start mining it. Once you have completed your scan, it will show you the green area as well as an overcharged red area. You must keep it in the green area in order to crack your rock open. And if you get it into the red area for too long, it will blow up in your face and kill you. So make sure that you do not blow yourself up and get yourself killed. And when you're down here mining in caves, the only way you're gonna die and lose your loot is if someone comes down here and player kills you, or you actually blow yourself up by trying to mine one of these rocks. Now don't let the fear of a player coming down here to kill you deter you from coming down here and doing some cave mining. Like, I have done this a lot, and I have only run across one person, and he was friendly, and we both just mined in the cave together. Seriously, you are more of a danger to yourself if you overcharge these rocks. That is probably how you're going to blow yourself up until you get the hang of it, and it's actually relatively easy once you do. Here comes my absolute favorite part. Each one of these pieces of hadanite that I'm picking up is worth 275 credits. Now, each one of those hadanite ore pieces drops a lot of these chunks. And if you were smart and packed 2 oxypins, Cadet, you are going to be walking out of this cave in just one trip. You're going to make over 40,000 credits. And as you're exploring these caves, you are going to come across many things that you actually can loot in it. Right there is some like bat turds or something like that. Honestly, do not worry about picking any of this stuff up because it's a hassle to sell and you don't even get anywhere near how much you're going to get from mining ore. Aphrite is the second most valuable ore that you're going to come across in these caves. They have a purple looking vein and they're purple looking crystals. Dolomite is going to end up being worth the least, but it is still most definitely worth mining because it's worth more than the bat turds and all the other stuff you're going to find. Seriously, caves are awesome. You can do parkour in them, and if you do miss the jump, all you have to do is jump towards a ledge. As long as it has yellow stuff on it, you can grab it. Sadly, I spent far too much time mining. I ran out of oxygen. I didn't find the missing person, which would have been nice to get an extra 4,000, but look at all this stuff that we have that we're fixing to sell. It is going to bring us in a bunch of money, and it's going to help us get started on stage 2 for sure. Seeing as how I want to save time and I do not feel like flying back, I'm just going to log out of the server to main menu, then log right back in. I'm going to still have all the possessions that I mined in that cave, and I'm going to show you the exact pathway to run down to the admin office. Pro tip, if you ever think you're going to die when you're in a cave, just make sure that you unequip your backpack before that happens, and you're not going to lose any of your loot either. And if you end up getting yourself stuck, because that sometimes happens in caves, either log out to main menus, back in, you're going to wake up in the bed and sell your loot, or make sure that you unequip your backpack, unequip your mining laser, and then you are free to backspace and kill yourself out. That way you're not going to lose your loot or your multi-tool. Caves are hands down the very best way for a new player to make some very good starting cash. Look at that. Just from the hadanite, we made over 33,000. That is really good starting money for a new player. We made over 9,000 with the Aphorite, and the Dolovine we are gonna almost make 4,000. That is really good money. I was only down in that cave for maybe a little tiny bit over an hour. And I don't know about you, but making all that space cheddar has made me hungry and thirsty, so it is now time to teach you how to eat and drink. And while I'm at it, I might as well teach you how to make a quick hotkey. Right now we need to unequip our helmet. Let me teach you how to make one. It is really easy to make one of these favorite buttons like the unequip helmet. I'm going to go into actions here, and what I'm going to do is actually make a favorite for wiping off my visor. In order to access this favorites menu, all you have to do is hold down the F key and then right click with your mouse and it'll pop up. You can make all kinds of favorites if you like, but yeah, I just have unequip helmet basically. Let's get on to eating and drinking. First, you must make sure your helmet is off. You just walk up to the bottles of water, then buy one for 3 AUEC. And in order, hey dude, I'm trying to talk here, man. Dude, seriously. And in order to drink it, all you have to do is hold down your left mouse click. Hold the mouse button down until you have drank all of your water, and then go over there and buy some food so it forces you to throw the doggone water bottle on the ground to make that guy pick it up because he's kind of rude. It's the exact same thing. Dude, seriously, don't sigh at me. I'm going to throw this stuff all over your floor. Same as the water. Once you've purchased it, all you have to do is left mouse click and you'll stuff it in your mouth and eat it, and then you're going to end up being full again. Now I'm going to show you where to sell all the other crap if you ended up picking that up in the caves too, and trust me, it is not worth it. You need to go to the Metro section in Hurston and run over to the admin office, and you're going to see the piddly amounts of space bucks they want to pay us for this. Your time and effort is definitely better spent hunting for the ore deposits and trying to find the missing person. Don't waste your time picking all this stuff up. See, it's only worth like 13 space bucks and 44 space bucks. Yeah, it's not worth the time. As it stands right now, they seriously buff the backpack rucksack in this game. You can mine until your heart's content. You are never going to run out of space. Don't bother filling it with this crap though, or you're going to be wasting your time trying to find the admin office and then selling it for like a few thousand. Just totally and completely not worth it. At least 20 minutes of that cave dive was dedicated towards picking up all that crap just to show you how horrible it is. After you have done 2 of those cave diving missions, you are now ready for stage 2. Once you get a little scratch together, let me show you where you can rent a couple different ships that are going to help you make even more space cheddar. Now you can rent either of these ships from either Area 18 where I'm at right now or Lorville on Hurston. This is where you're going to be able to rent the Prospector for 41,220 per day. You can also come down here and rent the Constellation Andromeda for 70,960, and this has 96 SCU of cargo space if you don't want to use the free freelancer that comes with 66. It actually is kind of worth it. You're going to be able to cut back on the amount of trips you're going to need to trade, although you will be risking more money by doing that. So yeah, just wanted to let you know about that. It is really nice to rent these ships. They really do help kickstart the amount of money you can make. In order to start stage 2, you are going to need just under 100,000 in order to rent the Prospector here, and you're also going to have to buy a really cool mining head for it. Now you want to head over to the Crusader system and dock at Port Hollister. This is where we're going to get our really cool mining head at. When you hop into PO, haul butt and get into the Armistice zone as fast as you possibly can. Don't worry about contacting them. Just get into the Armistice zone and then contact them as you're coasting in. There are a lot of people that play here, so shenanigans sometimes are afoot. You're going to head into Dumper's Depot, and we're going to come over to this touchscreen over here, and the mining head that we're looking for is the Impact mining head in the size 1. And I believe it's about 57,000 space bucks. The Impact mining head will help you tackle the largest of stones. The only things you're going to have problems with are very large Quantanium rocks. The stock Prospector can only mine the smallest of rocks, which is around 2,000 pounds, so definitely save up and get this mining head. Alright Cadet, if you want your prospecting mining experience to be a big gigantic bag of wind, make sure that you check out my very best mining guide that I made for 3.10. It explains everything you want to know. I really go in depth, and I explain to you how you can go out there and make 85k every 25 to 30 minutes. In that video, I teach you my tactics for site finding these patches, and look at there is a patch of 3 just below us. Mining in the prospector here is virtually identical to when you were mining in the caves. It's just that you're kind of flying around in a spaceship while doing it, and doing it on a much grander scale. After I have done a 360 and checked out the area to see if I can find any other patches of rocks, I'm going to swoop down here and then attach my mining head. Technically, you are not supposed to be able to modify these rented ships, but I'm going to show you the workaround that is currently working in 3.10. Word of caution though, Cadet. If you happen to crash and you need to claim your ship, or you happen to get it blown up, there is a small possibility that your prospector will revert back to its original form and you'll lose the laser head. In order to modify your rented prospector, you must be sitting in the captain's chair, and then you click on the vehicle loadout manager. Wait for it to load, don't do anything. Once it loads, you're able to switch the parts around. Now I'm going to switch it to this impact mining head. Just make sure you do the save and equip. Now I highly recommend, whenever you are done mining or you think that the server is starting to act weird, like you start to lag a little bit, just make sure that you go in there and unequip that laser head just to make sure that you don't lose it. Now don't let this deter you like when you were doing the cave mining and worrying that people are going to come in and beat you up. Now don't worry about that very much. It's extremely rare that you're going to lose your laser head, even if you have to claim your ship. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that it's a possibility, even though it's extremely rare. Now I'm just going to kind of gloss over the laser mining in the prospector just because I specifically made a guide for it, and it teaches you exactly everything you need to know about doing this effectively. So yeah, let's just get down to it. Now this one doesn't have a lot of agresium in it, but it has some agresium in it, and we're going to mine that up as a demonstration. It's just like when you were doing the cave mining. The left click is going to turn on your laser, the wheel up is going to increase the power, wheel down will decrease the power as well, so you can keep it into the green area. Just like in the caves, Cadet, you can blow yourself up if you overcharge this in the red for too long, and in order to combat that, if you think you are overcharging it too much, just completely back your ship up as far away as you can from the rock before it blows up. And if you wanted to, you can actually press 8 on your number pad. Since you are almost always facing these rocks, that'll shift all your shields up to the front, or at least the majority of them, so if the rock does blow up in your face, you're not going to take near as much damage. Shifting your shields to the front can mean the difference between life and death, so yeah, do that. Now that we have this rock broken down, we are only really concerned about where that 2.5% of the agresium was split into, so we are going to scan until we find the proper rock. We're going to crack that one open and scarf up all the agresium inside. FYI, I do not even bother mining any of these rocks unless they have at least 2.5% of agresium, laranite, or quantanium inside. And technically, this rock right here that I'm mining for demonstration purposes only is very, very borderline for me. I almost always look for something that has at least 10% or above on those really precious materials. When you encounter rocks that have in the teens of the really good stuff, you are going to be breaking off slabs that are 100% of that really precious material. You're going to break that down even further, and all those little purple pieces are going to be daggone awesome. You have proven yourself worthy to the Space Force. Now promoting you to First Lieutenant. Congratulations. Alright, Lieutenant, here we are at Stage 3, and I need to teach you a philosophy of how to think when you're going to be doing trading. Every single trading terminal that you go to in the verse wants to either buy something or sell you something. The trick is knowing what they want to buy as well as what they're selling. Once you learn the tactic of making money in every single port, well, you're well on your way to becoming a space millionaire. Stage 1 of this mission is to run all these agricultural supplies over to any place that sells alcohol. As we're flying into our destination, you're going to notice that the pip actually kind of disappears, and it's like, bro, where am I supposed to go? Hit F2, then retarget your destination, set the route, now it's going to appear again. Press B to spool your drive, then press B again, and now you have a target indicator. Once we land, we are going to go inside and try to pawn off all of our med supplies, as long as the price is half decent, as well as all of these agricultural supplies. Nice, nobody is selling agricultural supplies here, so I will get top dollar. That's pretty nice. Now, I'm making a mistake here. I should have held onto these medical supplies because 17 something is not a very good price, honestly. Now it is time to load up on a whole bunch of distilled spirits, as much as we can possibly carry. I'm going to pawn off the rest of the medical supplies out in Hurston, as well as all this alcohol. That gas giant is a thing of beauty to witness on any of the moons here in the Crusader system. Now it's time to test out the low gravity. Whee! Time to make money. Let's get the heck on out of here and head over to Hurston. We are going to go over to the moon Ariel, and on that moon we are going to go over to the station called Bezdek. We're going to pawn off all that alcohol and all the rest of our medical supplies. Every single one of the buildings that you run up to that has a terminal inside to buy and sell things will always have that little orangish colored light on top. Now that we're here, let's see how big of a mistake I made by selling my medical supplies a little bit too soon. And yeah, I was only getting 17 something there, and here I'm getting a better price. I should have held on to those medical supplies. These little stations will only purchase up to 5,000 medical supplies, but they will purchase up to 16,000 of the alcohol all at once. Technically, this is going to be a titanium run, but looky there, we can get a half decent supply of laranite, and if you can flip that, you are going to make a decent amount of money. The thing is, Everest Harbor up in orbit above Hurston does not buy laranite, so we're just going to do a super duper fast titanium run. Whenever I'm in a small ship, I do my best to avoid the train ride because that adds quite a bit of time to your ride. Running titanium to Everest Harbor from Bezdek or Lathan is very, very quick, and it completely and totally avoids the train ride, which adds so much time to your daggone money-making schemes. Now, we could have bought that laranite and flown out to Grim Hex, then started the process all over again in a gigantic triangle, and if you want to be able to do that faster, then make sure you add a crossfield to your ship. It will get you to and fro extremely quickly and shave a lot of time off your trips. Here we are back at Ariel. This time we are going to check out Lathan and see just how much laranite we can grab, and if we can, we'll try to fill up. And the weather gods are being super kind to us. Beautiful days and nights, not a single daggone storm in sight. Hopefully we will be able to scarf up a whole bunch of laranite. Wish me luck. But looky there, agricultural supplies are for sale. It's almost like it's telling me I need to start the loop again. Daggone it, we only got 17 SCU. That's not very much laranite. What you're watching now is me spending about the next 8 to 10 minutes here buying smaller quantities, waiting for the server tick to refresh more laranite so I can actually buy it. Now, what technically I should have done is just fly back over to Bezdek and load up, but yeah, I guess I was feeling a little bit lazy. Now that we are all loaded up with laranite, let me show you some of the very best places to sell it. Now, some of these are going to include a train ride and some of them will not. Down in Hurston here on Lauraville, you will have to ride a train. I highly recommend if you are using anything smaller than a Carrack, don't go there. Just go somewhere else to sell. It's going to be faster. You can head over to the Crusader system, which is where we're going to go to pawn it off at Grim Hex over there by Yella. Just be aware there can be reds over there, so just be a little bit careful. It's actually safer than PO though. You can also sell it in the Daymar system over at Levski as well. That is one of my go-to places. It's actually pretty good, but I plan on going over to Grim Hex so we can actually start doing this in a slightly bigger ship. And you can also sell it in R-Corp Area 18 in quantities, just you have to ride the train and it's a whole bunch of drama. Although you can actually kill yourself to the spawn and avoid at least one of the train rides. Coming into Grim Hex can be dangerous, just haul butt to the Armistice Zone and you're going to be totally okay. If you have a crossfield installed on your ship, it is definitely well worth it to come out here to Grim Hex. You are going to get top dollar, which is generally about 31.01 per piece. And when you're dealing in a whole bunch of pieces, that's a whole bunch of space bucks. Let me show you what they sell here at Grim Hex after we rake in all of our space bucks. And the thing is they sell scrap and a bunch of turds. The thing is waste is no good, but you can actually run scrap to PO, which is where we're at right now. Once you get your hands on 2.1 million, I highly recommend that you head over to Hurston and buy yourself a Freelancer Max. This ship can hold 120 SCU of cargo, nearly double the amount that the Freelancer can hold. Buying the Freelancer Max will give you the ability to nearly earn double what you were before in the Freelancer on every single takeoff and landing. This ship right here is guaranteed going to be your ticket to earn yourself the glorious Caterpillar. Once you get the Caterpillar, your life is on easy street because that thing carries 564 SCU of cargo. Now just imagine how much money you can make, as well as how much money you can lose if something goes wrong during your journey. Time to get the heck on out of here and head back over to Ariel one last time. We're going to pawn off all these distilled spirits and a little tiny bit of medical supplies that I have. I am going to test one last time to see if I'm able to buy any daggone laranite in quantities, and if not, we are going to move on to the very next place, because obviously God and everybody right now is buying and selling laranite in this area. If we are able to load up, I will show you the scummiest place in the verse, which is down in Lorville on Hurston, and luckily for you, I was only able to score 35, so we're going to top off the rest with titanium, and I think we're going to head out to Microtech, because that's where the real money is going to be made. At least we got an amazing price on that titanium. Getting it for 7.10 is a great price. Now let's head over to Microtech, and we're going to pawn all this stuff off, and I'm going to show you some really good routes. I absolutely love the Microtech area. Everything is covered with snow. There's beautiful days, there's stormy days. It reminds me of Alaska. Oh, yep, there's the storms. Everything about Microtech is gorgeous. They just reworked the hangar bay. The train ride is absolutely amazing. This is the train ride that I actually don't mind riding. As you run through the halls of Microtech, you're just going to be blown away by the beauty, but mostly we are here to make money. We're not so concerned about how awesome the game looks. We're more concerned about how much space bucks we're going to earn. The really cool thing about Microtech is hardly anybody ever sells laranite here or titanium, so you're almost always going to get top dollar. And it's a great starting location when you want to stock up on a whole boat pile of medical supplies. You can also pick up medical supplies out in the Crusader system, but if you do that, you are going to miss out on this totally and completely epic train ride. You can get medical supplies in multiple places in Microtech. We're going to head over to Calliope, and then we're going to head to the Rayanari Anvik Research Outpost. Whenever I want to buy medical supplies in bulk, even if it's in the Caterpillar, this is my go-to place in order to fill up all the way. This place also buys all gases, which is really, really cool. Hint, hint. And alcohol, of course. Let's head back to Ariel, and we're gonna go to Bezdek, pawn off as many of these medical supplies as we can, and fill up on as much laranite as we can. This time I am hoping for a full load, as well as getting a really good price for these medical supplies, and then we're gonna switch over to the big bad boy, the Cadet itself, and start really making a whole bunch of money. The cool thing about pretty much all the routes I'm going to show you in this guide works for all ship sizes. The only exception is going to be for gases itself, but like I said, you can sell those gases to anybody that sells medical supplies. One of the loops I really love to do in the Freelancer Max is sell the agricultural supplies, buy the alcohol, go over and buy some gases while I sell the alcohol, then head over to the place to buy medical supplies and sell all the gases. If you can't get your hands on a bunch of laranite, that is my go-to loop. That makes me so much money, it's absolutely ridiculous. And now that everyone's gonna know after this guide, they're gonna start figuring out where I'm doing it at. And yeah, they're gonna cut in on my action, but that's okay. Once you get your grubby little mitts on 4.6 million, you can head over to Levski and pick yourself up a cat of your very own. And once you do that, Lieutenant, you would have graduated to the next level. Congratulations, you're now a captain. The Caterpillar is truly a massive ship, and it is an ordeal to get in and out of it. You can get lost if you don't know the path. I know I did when I first started out. Let's get the heck out of here and make some serious space money. After we slobber all over how awesome Microtech looks, that is. Star Citizen is basically eye candy. If you love outer space, and if you love making money in outer space, you're gonna absolutely love this game. And of course there's combat in Star Citizen, but yeah, you can't buy better weapons unless you know how to make money. Let's head back over to Calliope. I think I'm going to snag up as many medical supplies as I can from my go-to place at Rayanari Anvik. The thing is if you are a smart captain, you would realize that right now I am making a big mistake. I should have flew over to the place that sold gases, then flew here and sold them before buying the medical supplies. That mistake is going to cost us a lot of space bucks. Let's head over to SMCA6. This is the place I should have gone first to pick up the gases before going over and picking up the medical supplies. This mining facility is located on the same moon, so it is literally a hop, skip, and a jump away. Here you can buy all the acetine and fluorine that you possibly can, and that Rayanari Anvik facility will buy absolutely every bit of it. It doesn't matter how much you deliver, they love it all. Let's pawn off some of these medical supplies, and looky there, we can't even sell 5,000. That means a lot of players are selling medical supplies here. Let's head back to Microtech and let me show you one of my super duper ultra top secret places to pick up gases. This is SMO10, and no matter what, I pretty much fill up my cat every single time with astatine. Now that everyone knows, maybe not so much. And every single time I come in here to sell medical supplies, if I'm getting top dollar, which is $19.25, it's almost an absolute guarantee that I can fill up that doggone Caterpillar all the way to the top with astatine. And if you are grasping what I'm trying to teach you, Captain, you will understand that you can completely avoid flying into Microtech, riding the train, selling your stuff, taking off again, getting away from the planet, which takes forever. You can avoid all that and just go back to the place that sells medical supplies and sell all those gases and go back and forth. Astatine can actually make you more money than titanium can, and the thing that's really cool about it is there are a lot of places in Microtech to get astatine. I'm only going to show you a couple. There are even more. After we get all this astatine and all these medical supplies pawned off, I'm going to head right back to SMO10 and show you that I can fill this cat up all the way, even though I was just here a few moments ago. I can't stress this enough, Captain. What I'm showing you right now is the old way. Showing up to a location empty, then flying all the way back to the main cell location, going there and riding a train, which takes forever, selling it, and then finally taking off to do it all over again. In the amount of time it took you to get here, you could have actually completed 2 astatine runs by selling it at the medical supply area. Let's head over to Clio and hit up the McGrath outpost. This is where you're going to be able to snag up any agresium, the lesser gases, and titanium. Unfortunately, we did not get a lot of agresium, and the titanium prices are kind of outrageous, so let's head over to SMCA 8 and we're going to check out and see how much agresium we can get here. And unfortunately, we only got 25 SCU. That kind of sucks and goes to show why you need to show up here with stuff they want to buy so you can actually come out with even more profit. Now, if I would have sold all the alcohol and the med supplies to all those other places I was checking out, then showed up here and filled my cat up all the way, I would have made a whole bunch more money. This is why I keep beating this dead horse over and over, just to show you how much money you're losing by not selling at your buy locations. The other thing you need to keep in mind, if you are selling medical supplies at any of the major cities, they will not buy more than 50,000 at a time, so you will have to wait for a server tick, or you're going to head over to the admin office here and pawn off at least another 1,000 more while you're waiting for one server tick to happen. Once I have all these medical supplies pawned off, I'm going to head right back over there to the Anvik research outpost, buy up as many of the... Oh, what's up, bro? Buy as many of the medical supplies as I possibly can. Then we're going to head out to the ArcCorp area to show you a whole bunch of trading routes that I like to do when I'm in that corner of the verse. Well, unfortunately, I wasn't able to fill the cat up all the way with medical supplies, so I'm just going to top off the rest with agricultural supplies. Area 18 is where we're going to sell off all of our loot, and the really cool thing about it is you can actually backspace out almost right to the cell location itself. It makes it really fast. You avoid a train ride. Unfortunately, I made a mistake and forgot that you can't sell agricultural supplies at Area 18, so let's head over to Walla at the 056 mining outpost. Here you can buy laranite, astatine, and diamond. Those are really good commodities to trade, and you're most definitely going to want to snag up as much laranite as you possibly can, then go for astatine next depending on the price, and then top it off with diamonds. Now let me show you one of my go-to stations. It's on Glira. It's going to be the SAL5 outpost. This is definitely one of my go-to locations if I ever feel like running agresium or titanium, and generally you can get a decent amount, not so much on the agresium, but on the titanium front you can get the hookup here. As long as the price of titanium does not exceed $7.25 per, it is definitely worth purchasing it because you can just kill yourself as soon as you get into Area 18 and spawn right near the cell location. I love it. This should be an interesting run. I am selling a little bit of everything, of course a whole bunch of titanium, but those are the 4 most popular items to trade. Diamonds comes in at number 5 as long as you can get it for $5.85 per. After we get all these commodities pawned off and we make a whole bunch of space bucks, we're going to head over to SAL2, which is on the exact same planet as SAL5. This is my low-key, ultra kind of top secret place to buy diamonds. Most people don't go here because you can't get agresium, laranite, or astatine, but you can buy titanium and diamonds are usually $5.85, and when you sell them, you make a bunch of money. Make sure to pay attention to those buy prices. I forked out $7.45 for that titanium, and yeah, it would have been better to do diamonds. Let's go back to 056, and I'm going to try to load up nice and fat before we end this video. 056 is an amazing place. You can actually purchase 3 out of 5 of the most traded items here in Star Citizen, and the cool thing about it is they buy medical supplies and tons of alcohol as well, so you can figure yourself out a really nice loot. You will be visiting this place quite a bit if you are in a medium or even a large ship. This place is daggone off the chain. I love it, and it will definitely help you get the Caterpillar really quickly. You do have the ability to make more money per trip out at Ariel, at Bezdek and Lathan, or just running medical supplies. The thing is you can avoid part of the train ride by just coming here to Area 18. It's worth making a little tiny bit less to be able to squeeze in more trips per hour. What's really neat is just trying to teach you how to play Star Citizen, as well as show you some of the very best trading routes in the game. I ended up making just about 800,000 credits, which is pretty win. Alright, future space explorer, let me show you what about 3/4 of a day worth of really dedicated trading can do for your pocketbook. Look at that, 6.5 million. Now I could take all these space bucks and buy myself another Caterpillar and add it to my trading fleet and trade with my friends. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, but I think I'm gonna get myself an Argo Mole so we can all play together and mine together. The Argo Mole is going to cost me a little over 5.1 million. The thing is it basically takes almost another million to pimp her out all the way to the tens. I really hope that this best start guide for Star Citizen helped your gameplay, and if it did, then well, I did my job. And if you are a new player considering buying Star Citizen, I hope that this helped you push you over the edge, because my friends pushed me over the edge and I haven't turned back since. If you enjoyed this video, please consider smashing that like button, and while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell to make sure you stay in touch with all of my future Star Citizen videos. All my love to my Patreon supporters as well as my YouTube channel supporters. Thank you very much. I love you all for your support.